It's officially been 300 years since the end of the predecessor Castlevania, and we're talking Castlevania Nocturne, the sequel series to that now a classic in my opinion, because that show was phenomenal. Each season to me, without question, got better and better. I love the way the story was told, where it went. I'm saying this because just Trevor and Cypher, those characters were phenomenal. So I was worried in the sense where, are they going to be able to pull that off again? Are they going to be able to have us enjoy these new characters, fall in love with this world? And how different is it going to be? That being said, welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph. Let's discuss, spoiler warning, just in case you haven't seen the series. But I didn't do any research until after watching the series. I kind of wanted just to sit there and enjoy the storytelling and kind of see if I would care for these characters without having any pre-involved feelings. And boy, do I. Alright, first things first. I know he's a villain, but damn, they make it hard not to love Aurochs. He is fantastic. The Aztec. He literally turns into a Kukulkan. He's the feather serpent god when he go ham. I was like, what the fuck? As soon as I saw it, this is like the first, 10 minutes of the first episode. That fight is phenomenal. I think the fights in this show are phenomenal. And I'm about to continue, but I do also have to make this point. One of the reasons the fights in this show are so phenomenal, because this show itself has such beautiful visuals. Some of the shots are just mesmerizing. Like, there's certain moments when they do, of course they do like the little slow-mo. You see that cape or part of the clothing cloth just kind of flutter back, or you see the droplets of blood or what, like these beautiful shots, but they're so wonderfully designed and shot that I can just take them and throw them up as a poster. They're wonderful. I really enjoyed that. So visually, phenomenal. I love the animation. And they did one of the things I absolutely love, is when they're in the middle of a fight, they don't cut corners. And I'm not an animator, so I don't know if it's easier or harder to do this, but I highly dislike when they cut corners and you get the fights where you don't see the figure no more. You just see kind of a fluid motion or a motion blur that you can't see anything. You don't see a fist. You just see like the shadow or silhouette of it, to hide the movement so we don't get that detail. And here, they like zoom in on the detail, from him creating ice at one point to block a hit, to the punches, the kicks, the slicing and stuff. Like, we got an enhanced version of that detail, and I love that. That's what also elevated the fights. Great choreographed in visuals and the fights and the show as a whole. The story is phenomenal. It's creepy. I mean, we take a giant L in this show. Every time there's like a battle or a situation, we're losing as mankind, as humans. We're losing this fight, and it ends with technically a major loss, but also it ends with Alucard showing up late as fuck. I don't know what he was doing. My boy was napping or something. And he takes out Drolta. You have to love, like, you hate her, but you love her. She's vicious. And when she went into full succubus mode, I was like, damn, the pink is fire, literally. Her outfit is dope. Her heels, when you first see them, how she has like the hoof heel, so the heel's in the front and she's like floating in the back. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a problem. This monster right here gonna be a problem. This is sidebar, it's not important, but damn, everyone looked beautiful on this show. I mean, the eyes, the physique, just top to toe. Everybody was like a 10 out of 10. I think the ugliest thing in this show was the reflection I would catch of myself on the screen occasionally. I'm kind of jumping all over the place when it comes to the show, because I've talked about things that happen at the end and the beginning already. I thoroughly enjoyed this so much. I want to do research. I want to know more about the characters. I want the other season right now. It won't get here quick enough. If you've ever read this book series called The Demonata, phenomenal, love it, probably arguably one of my all-time favorite series. But there's a character called Lord Loss. You meet him in the very first book, just how you meet Aurochs in the very first episode. Except Aurochs is a classy broad, okay? Lord Loss is many things except classy. I can't stand that character. But the reason I say this, it's that one character, the main character, which is Richter, to eventually defeat. You want him to get him, to gank him, to kill him, take him out, right? Put him out of his or your misery. However, his character is clearly one that's going to survive, but I'm also okay with that, because this Aztec deity is phenomenal. I love his character, the way he still has these human connections he makes, and he doesn't seem like a complete monster to be a monster. And there's so much to dive into, from like Annette and her powers, and the fact, because I always love Papa Legba. He's one of my favorite characters, not just here, but I mean, so I always loved Papa Legba. When I learned about him, I forgot what show put me on him, and then I started doing my own research on him. So I like that person, that deity, that character, that entity, and I love the fact that he's in this with Annette, and I love that she has these earth-bending skills that she gets that were passed down through her bloodline. Then you have Maria, who is basically like, I forgot his name, but he's one of the main characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. She basically just summoning what I'm assuming are Digimon or some kind of demon Pokemon, pocket monsters. But she's summoning them and they're adorable and you like them and like they have a cool connection. They have so much going on in this show that I thoroughly enjoy. Tara, she's a wonderful mother figure. Like, just you're making connection to all these characters and it's hard not to just thoroughly enjoy it. I also feel like these 8 episodes this first season flew by super quick. I was enjoying it thoroughly. Clearly, I loved it. I thoroughly did. I love this show. I love the season. And I'm excited for more. Highly rewatchable. I've seen it twice now. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't. You don't technically have to watch the first show, the predecessor. I would recommend it because that one's also great, if I'm being honest. So my bias says watch it and then you'll be fully caught up. The only bit you kind of have to know or understand is Alucard, who shows up at the very, very end. When you thought it's a lost cause, it's Dunsky, we're not getting any more seasons, because clearly we lost this fight. Because this new villain, Elizabeth, whew, she is quite literally a monster among monsters. When she transformed and morphed into that, first she was powerful, and then she turned into this giant, super thin, scary looking lion lady. I was like, hard pass, not for me. I don't like her. And then you couldn't even touch her, bro. You couldn't even get within her vicinity. I was like, I totally forgot. I was like, how do we win this? And then in my head, I never thought Alucard was going to show up because I didn't know that. So when he showed up, I was like, do we have a chance now? Because technically you're Dracula's son. And at the end of the day, when it comes to vampires, to me, Dracula's number one. But if you defeat him, then you can defeat her. You see what I'm saying here? Last thing I want to talk about is Edward. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. I heard him say it consistently and I was like, I'm going to remember it. And I can't, honestly. But his character. I couldn't stand his singing in the beginning when he was still human. And he was like, you lost a piece of you and like you lost a piece of yourself with your sister. I will sing for them. And I was like, ooh, I don't really like this singing. And then when you get the flashback of him helping Annette run away and be free and get her freedom, and he was singing there, I was like, I don't like this. I hope his singing is not consistent. Then he gets turned into a night creature. Yes, he dies, but he doesn't, because he not only does he get turned into a night creature, he's semi-sentient of who he was, or maybe still has a piece of his soul tethered to him. Something, I don't know how to explain it, but this is when his singing hit for me. I don't know why. I don't think it was vastly different, but those first 2 scenes, I was like, ooh, I don't want him to sing. After that, when he was singing during the fight scenes, I was like, give it to me. Run it. Don't stop, dog. This is your job, all right? When someone fights, you pop open them lungs, boy. And I love the characteristics there. Like, the night creature designs were cool. Some, to me, were dumbskis, but some were amazing. Like, for one, Edward's, is great. With the hands and his popping blue eyes and, like, his crown thing. And then you have that giant like guardian one with the warhammer with 3 heads who gets ganked really easy. Well, not really easy because technically it gets held by 2 other night creatures and then she stabs him in the back. Not the point. His design was cool. But just his character and the way his singing actually won me over. But once he became a monster, I don't know. It was just something I thoroughly enjoyed there. But I can go on and on. I highly recommend this one. Definitely worth a watch. Like I said, rewatchable for sure. I've seen it twice. I'm going to watch it again. But I want to hear your thoughts. Have you seen it? Do you care for it? Is there anything you can tell me down below? You know I love hearing from you. Let me know. However, until next time, stay safe. Be well. Con mucho amor. Adios.